Let's take a look at building the light block for the deflector dish. It's a pretty simple process when you've got the tools for the job. Much like we did with the nacelles, I'm going to use this thick black foam board to create a light block to make sure that the blue light stays on this side and the white light stays on this side. Now this is a more awkward shape than the nacelles and is also a lot bigger. Thankfully I have this rigid wire, which means that I can bend it into place inside and it'll give me the rough shape that I need. Alright, that looks good. Naturally it's going to need some adjustment. It's not a perfectly symmetrical shape, but let's see how close it is.
Okay, that looks pretty good. I'd say that the left-hand side fits much nicer than the right-hand side. So what I'll do now to enhance this is mark my central point, draw a line up the middle of this, and as this side is the side which most closely resembled the inside of the hull, we'll use this to create a better one. Just start off by cutting it in half, then trace around, place it back against this side. Now this time, when we cut the shape out, it should be fairly symmetrical. Here we are. Using the torch, we'll just check to see how much of the light bleeds, which in this case it doesn't seem to be bleeding at all. And once that's glued in place, it'll be nice and tight.
We won't be able to install that or the LED tape until I've hit this hull as it is assembled now with some primer. But what I can do is make some considerations regarding the diffusion for the deflector dish. Because it has this opaque plate that sits in the middle, direct viewing of the LED tape is not such an issue. So we just need to figure out how much, or if at all, I need to diffuse the deflector. Here we can see the deflector completely undiffused. It's a pretty good light spread and the LED tape is just wide enough on the opaque section. Now from an angle, which obviously you're coming at from a slight angle, you can make out the individual LED. So it'll probably need just a very light diffusing. Of course, before I can prime this, do the light blocking on the inside, or any of that, I do have a seam along the middle here that needs to be dealt with. And I'm just going to just sand it down, and if we need to, do a little bit of filler. Same deal on the top here. That'll about do it for this video. It's good. Got ourselves a nice undercoat, a nice black interior to stop any light from leaking through, and in pretty good time too. In the next video we'll look at mounting our internal block, getting in that front strip of LEDs, and looking at the internal general hull lighting. But until then, I'm Raven, and that's all from the desk.